Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third instalment of the ANZ Combined Racing League Imola 4 Hours. I am your host for this race, Saturday 15, and with me in the commentary box is Lock Vanish.
Hey Sato, how are you, mate?
Yeah, doing good. In the commentary box this year, instead of defending my bottom class victory that I had last year, so I'm looking forward to some good racing.
Bottom class, your victory in your class, I think you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, last year was the winners we ran the LMP1 and LMP2 class, or LMP3 class, sorry, with Shads winning LMP1 and myself, Saturday 15, winning LMP3. And then we go back to 2018, where we have two winners, the two class winners are actually in this field in similar classes to what they ran back then, with Aussie Carters, who won our very first running of this Imola 4 Hours event in what was the LMP2 class at that time, and Woody Lizard won the LMP3 class way back in 2018. So those guys are looking to be our first back, I keep trying to say back to back, but it's first multi-winner of this event.
Yeah, well, it's an event, isn't it? Yeah, that win the event for the year, which everyone wants to do.
Yeah.
At the beautiful Imola circuit, like, yeah, what a circuit. It's fast, it flows. It's going to be very interesting to see who this year can grab that trophy at the end, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly right. Aussie Carters has put his front foot forward so far. He's on provisional pole at the moment by 1.5 tenths to Dread. So he's in good position to become a multiple winner of this event.
He's got some competition on his hands. I'll give you the tip. Dread here has been the fastest in every session they've had. He is the man. He's been well faster in some sessions, seconds. So, yeah, but we don't know. It's the lead up to here. Who's foxing? Who's not? And the times are telling us now. Aussie Carters may have been foxing a little bit.
Could have been. We approach the end of this qualifying session now. We have had one disconnect so far. Hopefully we can get in for the race. With Got Gecko dropping out during this qualifying session, we hope he can come back in. But at this stage, it's Aussie Carters from Dread, with Dark Racing 40 in third, with Dado Racing in fourth, Gear 3 Gaming in fifth, with Par in sixth, Metal Drive in seventh. Sam DR Cirrus is the pole position guy in the GT1 class. Woody Lizard in 9th, with Night Pegasus 10th. Jetto in 11th, and Got Gecko has been able to join this session. He's in 12th place at the moment, so not where he would have liked, but it's a better scenario than not racing at all.
Well, he'll be put forward onto the back of the LMP9s, he should be, so that, yeah, it's going to hurt for someone that should have been up there fighting for, yeah, those top three positions, probably, you would have thought. He's been very quick, so definitely, yeah. But with the rain on the start, anything can happen here, so he's got time. You've got 2 hours on ×2 progression, so to simulate a 4-hour race. So time is on his sides, and strategy here is going to be the biggest play over all of it, I think. With the fuel runs, from what I've been hearing, it's maybe a one stop for some people, probably a two stop for some people, and up to maybe a three stop splash and dash at the end, depending on how fuel consumption goes. So slow and steady may just win this race.
Exactly, and there are reports of some rain to start the race. So these guys are going to have to adjust and make compromises to the setup in what's going to be changing conditions.
That's right, and you can practice all you like, but the weather still will variable in that light rain area. So it may not be raining when we start. It may be raining. The track could be wet. It could be not so wet. Like, you don't really know now what you're going to do. But I mean, Aussie Carters is in the right position. If there is, you've got to think about mist if you're running back in the pack. You're not going to be able to see, all your brake markers change then. So the guys that have practiced for this and aware of the ins and outs, like your Dado races and dark racing and these guys sitting back there, don't write them off yet. This is going to be a long race and very interesting.
Exactly right. If we forgot to mention at the start that the two classes running is the LMP 900 class and the GT1 class. GT1, of course, was the Le Mans class all the way back in the 1990s, and the LMP 900 was what replaced the GT1 class in the early to mid 2000s. So all these drivers in the LMP in the LMP class are all in the Audi that I believe won a couple of Le Mans 24 hours way back in the day. Whereas there's a good
Yeah,
mix in the GT1
yeah,
class.
it's going to be interesting with the two classes, and the GT1s aren't that far behind. So, there's a few seconds a lap in it. And like I said, with the rain, yeah, like it depends. You've got the prediction is half a race of rain, an hour of rain, and then it's going to dry up and run home. So how that works and how the strategies work and who can adapt to the best to what's going on is, to see a GT1 guy on the podium at the end of this overall wouldn't surprise me too much.
Hmm, exactly right. Just waiting on, uh, just waiting for cars to grid up at the moment.
Working on making sure their final setups are loaded, their pit stop strategies are done. They would have multiple strategies selected, so they can pit and just fix damage and things like that. You've got to sort of plan for all the what ifs, I suppose, when you go out there. So this is going to be a really good start, I reckon. This should be very interesting. And there's some quick guys in this field, and Woody's second in class, wants to back up his win from last year, and Cyrus has been very, very fast. So I look at about a bit over half a second quicker than him in qualifying.
Hmm. So, just go through a few of the drivers at the moment with we have the Brotherly Collection in first and last in the LMP class, Aussie Carters and got Gecko in the same household for this race, so they love to put a bit of strain on their internet every week they race. Both
But
very
what do you
fast
reckon?
drivers.
They're coming up into the race. The last two, one pulls the internet on the other one. Can we put bets on this?
Well, I wouldn't. Got
I
Gecko's
wouldn't.
already disconnected so far,
Yeah,
and wouldn't want to
well,
wish that to happen again.
no, I truly hope, because watching him come through the back, although coming from the back here is not going to be easy. Like, you look at these, 5, 6, and 7 here, Gear, Paro, and Metal Drive, there's half a second over them. There's only another few tenths forward to fourth place in Dado Racer. Like the rain is gonna sort these boys out, and then it's who's got a rain strategy, or who's set the car up a bit softer, run fast and consistent in the rain, and maybe lose a bit of speed in the dry. Try and avoid the mess in the rain. But yeah, who's got what? That's what we're gonna see, and we're about to find out.
Yes, yes we are, and it's absolutely hosing down at the moment as the cars finally
But the
get their final preparations, get those wet tyres on the car. 'Cause
That's
it
right,
is
but the
going
track
to be,
doesn't look wet, funnily enough. There's no puddles. It looks, what I'm seeing, it looks pretty dry. It's going to be wet in a minute, but
yeah,
that
certainly.
looks pretty dry. So let's have a look at maybe what some fuel and stuff people could say. We're 90 litres there in the LMP9. They've all got the same car, so I'm presuming all the same fuel tank. So they should be all full. And what about these? They've got 100 litres. So they're going to be able to go a little bit further, I reckon, here, and be a little bit more economical. So see, this glass battle could be very interesting. Can someone sneak up from, take a GT1 to the front? Whoa.
Thank
Is that doable?
Got some boys in the chat, some fellow drivers of the ANZ Combined Racing League, wishing these boys luck. We thank you all for engaging with us this afternoon on what is an Easter Saturday in a very weird world at the moment. But the good thing is that despite being quarantined, nothing can stop us from sim racing, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here today.
And look how sim racing's look at that, we're all loaded in, and look how sim racing's boomed. Everyone's doing it. All the sim racing online communities are booming at the moment, and it's great to see. Yeah, welcome anyone. You think you can have a go at this?
As these drivers are off now, the race is underway. It's Dread who's actually got the good start. Dark Racing is alongside. There's no Aussie Carters. He's actually been disconnected from this lobby, which is so unfortunate. The pole sitter. He was pushing for a to become a two-time race winner at this event, and unfortunately, internet has cost him.
That is devastating, absolutely devastating. And then now he's got Gecko, who got disconnected in the last session, which has turned out to be lucky.
Lucky for him, unlucky for Aussie Carters.
Maybe Gecko said, well, you did qualifying, I'm going to do the race, and I'm having your internet. No, I'm sure Gecko will be equally as disappointed for Aussie Carters, because I think we really missed out there. But yeah, there's a depth of field here, though. This is any one of these guys can win this race.
Yeah, exactly. It's been blown wide open. And
yeah.
I reckon Gecko will still be worried that if they've already had 2 disconnects in that household already, and there's a pretty good chance there could be a third.
One gone, he might be stable, hopefully, and he might be able to hang in there. Let's hope. We don't want to lose both of them. We've already lost one.
Dark Racing now. He actually got a good jump, but then lost a place to Datto. He actually got a pretty good start. So now Dark Racing is trying to gather himself and try and put the pressure on Datto to force a mistake.
And these guys know each other very well, so they'll be Dark Racing and just want to sit in there. You see the headlights are on. I'm right here. Want to fill his mirrors? You're slowing me up. That's what he'll be saying.
Didn't want to go that wide though on the gravel. It's going to be.
No, you don't want to be out there, not especially early.
This track's starting
to get very slippery. Settling into a groove, and yeah.
Track's starting to get slippery. Puddles are starting to form on the track. This is going to prove quite a challenge for these guys but we have heard some media reports that the weather is going to let up in a few minutes' time, in 20 minutes or so.
I heard it was about half the race. So, but you know, project cars, it is variable. It will change. Like now that we're getting puddles clearly on the track, it's getting wetter and wetter. So, like I said before, you don't know really what you're going to get. We've got a dry track, but it was pouring with rain. So whoever's got a wet setup now, lap 2, you know, you're starting to settle in, and they'll start to come forward. And those that have got, you know, yeah, but the front 3 look like they're sort of jumping away. Well, Dreads, he's kind of gone.
Yeah, he's already brought out to a 2.5 second lead. Gear 3 Gaming had to come to the pits at the end of that opening lap.
Oh,
and he's still he's actually left his pit box now, but he's lost a lot of time. He's now a lap down. But now's his time to shine, to try and claw back, get in front of those GT1 cars.
He's filled up with fuel there. He's got 89.5 litres on out of a 90 litre tank, so he's topped the tank. He's hopefully just had a not too big a repair, and he can settle in. He'll want to get around these 2 GT1 cars pretty quickly. But he won't want to push. He's already made, obviously, a mistake, or something's happened there. I'm not sure really if it was, but you know, he's ended up in the pits, so he's in damage control now. So he needs to just put his head down and yeah, see what he can drag out at the end. He's got it's a long day now for gaming.
Just got some inside word. The Gokgeko and Aussie Carters are actually going to be sharing the car for the rest of this race. So it's, even though it says Gokgeko in 6th place, it's actually Aussie Carters in the car, and they will change drivers at the pit stop. Of course, they are the only guys that are able to do a driver swap in this race.
The first ever driver swap. There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. That's so good to hear. Oh, well, there you go, Aussie Carters. That's one that's going to trip me up all day until they put Gokgeko back in.
Yeah,
but,
so expect that the car of Gokgeko to make some moves. It must have had a trouble
start.
He's
going to have a different setup now. Like, this is not his setup, but I would, under the presumption they're together, that they would be, you know, and their speed, they're working together to get a setup, so I would assume it's fairly similar, but each driver will have preferences, so there might be a couple of things that are not quite as he likes, and well, yeah, we'll see. He'll settle in over a few laps though, and I very much expect to see him come forward very quickly.
So that's actually Gear 3 Gaming in between Aussie Carters and CMDR series, so that's actually going to be interesting to see if Gear 3 Gaming can get past and not hold up Aussie Carters. In fact, he's dived down the inside of CMDR series and Aussie Carters is now going to follow.
Off. But he's got a nice clear run. He'll be, like I said, he'll be running to get around there now. He's got to put his head down, settle in. Oh, he's run a bit wide.
That's slow down territory out there.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, he really needs to just settle down now. Yeah, calm down and settle in. He's in for the long haul. He's got, like I said, a lot of work ahead of him. But it's very much doable. Changeable conditions. He's not going to be the only one that's going to end up in the pit lane. I'll really put money on it.
So you can see Gear 3 Gaming struggling just a little bit. He's very slippery at the moment. You can see that shine on the track, and you see the puddles forming at the edge. So the track's getting wetter and wetter at the moment as the rain keeps on pelting down, and it's just going to get even more tougher for these drivers.
We'll skip through a few and just see how the setup is. You know, did they plan for a wet race, and or are they driving a dry car, waiting for it to dry out so they can storm home? Which is probably my plan, is usually attack.
And Night Pegasus has had a good start. He's in 2nd place in the GT1 class at the moment. He's got a nice gap to Woody Lizard, who's obviously found some trouble in this early stages. Not what Woody Lizard had been looking for, trying to chase his second victory.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But Sam Diaz-Cirrus is doing an amazing job in this early stage. He's actually ahead of Jetto. No, Jetto's in the GT1 class. My apologies. So actually, that's Night Pegasus in third place. Jetto is in second.
Sorry, he is. Yeah, so yeah, Cirrus here, CMD Cirrus leading, and then Jetto, what? Yeah, a few seconds behind, 5 seconds after 5 laps, and so, but like I said, this has all changed now. It's who's got the stamina. It's a 2-hour race. This is got a long way to go.
And this wet stint will cause a fair bit of fatigue for this driver, as it takes a lot of concentration to keep the car straight. As I just saw when we were just on board with Night Pegasus going down to the bottom of that hill, I saw a few puddles. This is going to get very treacherous. There's a puddle that builds up at the bottom of the circuit, sort of before the double right-hander, where if it gets too big, we could see a few spins if the drivers are not careful enough. You've got to really change your line and sort of go-kart it to make it through safely.
And you see the rivers running across in the acceleration area coming out of the turns and that too. So it's a lot of throttle control, especially in the GT1s. They're pretty aggressive on, you can definitely tell the age difference and the Genesis moving forward of the cars, being completely different but sort of similar.
Well, we're 10 minutes into this race now, and it's actually Data Racer now in the lead from Dark Racing 40. Dredd has dropped down to third place, so he's made a mistake somewhere in these treacherous conditions. Parr is in fourth.
Look at this,
That's
though.
been a very good start for him. Metal Drive in fifth. Aussie Carter's in sixth with CMDR Cirrus in seventh with Jetto in eighth. Night Pegasus ninth. Woody Lizard in 10th, and also has a time penalty applied that will apply at the end of the race. Gear 3 Gaming still 11th, still a lap down, but he'll be fighting his way back now.
Yeah. So, well, the cat's out of the bag. Who can put it back in, I suppose, is the question. This is wide open. Losing Aussie Carter's off the start and then picking him back up unknowns in Got Gecko's car. What a move. The first driver swap in an event like this, as they live in the same house.
It's actually a bit. It's actually seeing a couple of different packs at the moment. The top three are doing similar lap times, and then it's a 4-second gap back to the other cars.
Yeah, well, Metal Drive is 20 seconds off the pace.
But it's definitely Data Racer and Dark Racing 40 showing their experience at the moment, which is something that is very valuable in these treacherous conditions.
Oh, absolutely. Experience. I mean, yeah, knowledge is one thing, but actually having done it multiple times, and maybe not in these cars, but just the basic racing experience. Like I said, these guys will be going at each other now, and they're going to be tied together probably this whole race, which is great for us.
Dark Racing only half a second behind now, so Data Racer's not out of the woods just yet. He's still got to keep it smooth, calm, consistent, while trying to hold off that big angry darkie behind.
Yeah. Well, I know from experience, like Dato's not a man that makes mistakes a lot. He's a very tough nut to crack. You're not going to phase him too much. Dark will be trying his guts out, but nothing's going to phase him. He just know he'll stick to his plan. Stick as long as he hits his brake markers and judges it all correctly. He's got the skills to do it, so he'll be trying to settle in comfort and just ignore Darky. And Darky will be doing everything right behind him now to say hey, 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 and catch him attention and try and get him to make a mistake. And look at the spray difference. So now we're drying out. The track's drying out in spots. But it's a lot easier through here to not be in that spray, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Darky will be looking to get around probably. And run
meters.
away. Someone's going to make a break soon.
Yeah. It's Darky's finding it very hard to close up at the moment. Both Darky and Dado doing very similar lap times and have been throughout the entirety of this race so far. They're both what looks like to be teammates for this event, with both running the same livery, but of course Dado with the yellow, Darky with the red.
Yeah. Very nice looking car, very sleek. Prototypey things. Great come to drive. I had a bit of a drive this afternoon. I thought I'd better do some runs. I didn't opt for the rain. But yeah, Imola, what a track. Like, you've got an hour or so of showers on and off maybe, and then it's going to dry out. Track evolution, it'll grip up with the 11 of them now, or 12 or 11 and a half. Cars running around, it'll grip up. There's been some wicked fast times, like they're 10 seconds away at the moment from their qualifying times in the drive.
Well, that looked like a little bit of a mistake there from Darky. Just lit the rear up just a little bit. That's cost him half a second there.
And these cars are very like that. You know, it's a lot of throttle control, but you're trying to get up with the straights coming out of these tight chicanes, like that third chicane there. You know, this is you get into 6th gear running down here. You need to be on it as fast as possible and as clean as possible. But then you also need to beat the guy in front of you. So, but these guys know better than anyone out there. I think that this has got an hour and 44 minutes to go, and they'll just be probably looking to settle in with each other. They've got a fight, so they're actually pulling away from Dredd now. So I reckon Dredd's got a bit of a dry setup here.
Yeah, he might do, and might come back at the end of this race. Still a long, long, long way to go.
Oh, this isn't even the we've got miles to go.
Having said, Dredd, he still did a very similar lap time to both Dado and Darky that time by, so he's not losing time. As Darky's actually made a mistake there. Darky's actually made a mistake because he's 2 seconds behind now, so there's something's happened. Something's happened at one of the chicanes. He must have just went in a little too hot, as they're actually...
Oh, maybe we're getting traffic here now, yeah.
Yeah, that's the, that is, one of the,
it's a Ferrari.
Ferraris by the looks of it.
Pegasus, is it?
Yes, it is Pegasus indeed.
Might be any less. Yeah.
So that's.
So another guy that's on the class down. So they're how many laps? That 10 laps, and they're on him. As he has, well, he's third in class.
Pegasus
lost a bit of time, but
looks like he has made a couple of mistakes on the previous lap. He was 11 seconds slower than CMDR Cirrus on that previous lap.
There you go. So yeah, and some of the guys, if you're running a slightly stiffer setup aimed at the dry, where you're going to have issues is putting the traction down coming out of turns on the puddles and things like that. So it's very, very easy, and with the track drying and becoming wet, it's very easy to apply that fraction too much throttle and light that rear up, and yeah, it will pretty much do an instant spin on itself on you.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now, they'll be brewing that trait in the cars, and if we can all get through about another hour or so, when it's dry and they're flying, they'll be loving it. Hopefully, on flying towards a podium.
There's a dry line now starting to form, so the rain has eased off right now. It's
Well, it has
clearing
in
up.
sections, and in other sections, it's actually, it's actually raining. So it's a bit, dry, wet. Like I said, this will be mixed conditions. You'll never know lap to lap where, what the tracks change. There could be a puddle there that wasn't there last lap, every lap.
Oh, there goes Pegasus.
Oh, no.
So that's that puddle I was talking about earlier. If you
Yeah,
don't
at
get
the
that
bottom of the
line
hill
right
there,
through that section, it can bite you pretty badly.
That's that's exactly right. Oh, and another mistakes breed mistakes. You're angry at yourself. You made a mistake and you want to get it back, but you've got to calm yourself down now. Like I said, this has only just begun. We're 20 minutes in, an hour and 40 to go. There's well enough time. He's not dropped a position.
What these drivers
So
will
70 laps, 70 litres of fuel, sorry. I was just looking at what his fuel draw is.
Yeah, I was just about to say regarding that is that these drivers will be thankful they have so much fuel on board at the moment. Because with these changeable conditions, you want as much fuel as you possibly can so you can make the best call possible. Whereas if you had to pit now, while it's still wet, you could lose out if other people were able to pit right when it was time to go to slicks.
Well, the other thing is, for me, the half an hour mark is your indication on fuel and stuff. Who's going to have to pit? Who's using fuel here? Because ideally, you need to get to 1 hour on the dot and then put an hour's worth of fuel in, hopefully, and go again. Fuel strategy here is going to be massive. So it's looking like the GT1 cars, they're going to make, we've got 10 more minutes. Well, it's going to be close, but I reckon they can do it. Whereas someone like Dado out the front here,
he's only used 30 litres so far in this race, so he's going to be going quite well.
That's really good. So he is now in a place where he can save fuel, run his lines and control the pace. Well, they're going to have to be on, and he's opened up a little bit here from Darky, and looks like actually right behind him, some action, Dread coming around there.
That is the Mercedes of Jetto
Mercedes.
Racing, I believe.
Yeah, right, so they're working their way through that field, so that's going to start to become fairly constant now. You'll be coming up on one of them in the faster guys, or in the GT1 class you'll be having to check the mirrors for cars coming up on you as they all sort of spread out. But looks like the top three here are trying to make a bit of a play at this. But like I said, it's by no means over. They may have wet setups and it could go dry in 10 minutes, and they're going to have to try and hold a lead there. But they've got quite a sizable gap at the moment.
It is
35 seconds, more, 37.
They were
back
lapping.
To metal drive.
When it was at its wettest, they were lapping 3 to 4 seconds faster than the rest of these guys. Because that looks like that.
See, the laps have slowed down. They've gone from 141 back to 144. So in the lead group.
Oh, there's been a spinner at the back. Not sure if that was Aussie Carters or if that was Gear 3 Gaming. Based on the deltas, it looks like Gear 3 Gaming.
Oh no! Come on.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was. It was Aussie Carters.
It was. Yeah, Ingot Gecko's, which is gonna. I'm surprised they haven't called me out yet. Ingot Gecko's car. And I see their Ingot Gecko said it's helpful to be in the same house with this. Well, it is when you're changing sim rigs. Horrible for the connections sometimes. Well, with today when everyone's on lockdown on Easter, I'm surprised we've actually only had one problem. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed we don't have any more.
yeah, it's an underrated, underrated aspect of this online racing. Where if you're not comfortable with the setup as you got us, that looks like Knight Pegasus that's had a spin at the back there. That if you're not completely comfortable, you don't know all the ins and outs of the equipment you're using. That makes it almost 100 times harder than what it normally would be.
Exactly right, and they may have similar setups or anything, but like I said, each driver's got their own little traits, and while they probably help each other with setups and whatnot, you know, some like a little bit more turning, some, you know, there's preferences there, everyone's different, so it will be different. But, you know, he's at last lap obviously hurt, but we'll see how he settles in now. And like I said, you don't know what, he could be jumping in there in a pretty much dry setup in someone else's car. Like, you just don't know. Like, that's a tough ask.
I'll tell you what, Darky has turned it on in the last couple of laps. He's now right back up behind Dado Racer. He got held up behind ANZCRL.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen him catching up there, so... You know, and they're working out lines, where, like you say, where the puddles are. They're working out new lines on the fly, and like I say, who's done their homework? Who's running these conditions and seen where the puddles come and go and where the best lines are? And now it's going to be a bit of cat and mouse between these guys. If they do get a gap, they'll gravitationally pull each other together again, I think. They'll both be chomping at the bit to take a win here.
Certainly would be. Neither of these drivers have won this event before. This will almost certainly make it three different winners in this class.
You know, and both the drivers have won other events and stuff. They're no slouches here. So they'll be looking for the feather in their cap, I suppose, both of them.
Yeah, well, Dark Racing, of course, his biggest victory was the victory that he had last year's. Looked like Tato very slidey on exit.
I think, they're getting very taily here.
We've got a spinner.
That worked out for these guys very well.
Yeah. Pegasus are struggling in these wet conditions.
You see now, fuel's coming down. You've not got that press down on, on your drive tyres as much either. The cars are getting lighter. The conditions are wet and horrible, basically. Especially if you're driving an open cockpit car, which in sim racing is, well, it doesn't matter.
So we've got 1.5 hours to go, a bit more than 1.5 hours to go. It's still Dado Races led almost from the start when he passed Dread.
Well, if you have a look at this now, Darky's got 50 litres of fuel left. We're coming down on that. He's going to make it, I reckon. What are they, 90? He's got 5 litres, 3 minutes. Oh, man, but when they get moving later, they're going to use more fuel as the track dries out and the rain goes away. This is going to be pretty interesting, I reckon. This top 3 of it's going to be on. And Metal Drive, well, he's not falling too much further back at the moment. But well, last lap he was 4 to 5 seconds slower. So the front guys are really, showing the way here.
Yeah, they're just a class on their own at the moment.
That's right. And this next pack though, they're very close here. This is there's only a few seconds here. One mistake, you will lose the position.
Well, that's Gear 3 Gaming now right behind Metal Drive, and Metal Drive's actually gone off, so Gear 3 Gaming gets that place back.
Oh, look at that.
Metal Drive has spun. I think he just missed the wall then. That is lucky.
Off. Thank you very much for that. That's how you want to do it, not really have to do anything and just drive past. That's
and all
the
of a
best
sudden,
way, I thought.
Aussie Carter's has got himself into 4th place.
Well, there you go. Look at this.
Of course, a
So
pairing
now
of
the cream's starting to rise. So, but look, his lap times are still a bit down. But yeah, he's we'll see.
like, when it goes dry, this car is going to be lightning quick.
Well,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
they've both
expecting
been super fast.
I'm expecting these guys to make a driver change at the opening pit stop, where got Gecko got in the
Yeah.
car for most of it. It'll
Well,
look
they
like
got 50
they'll
litres left now too.
and they'll probably go for a splash and dash at the end if the pace is quicker than expected.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna have to have probably a few multiple strategies for the splash and dash on fuel numbers. And they may have to just, like, you'll have a ballpark area, but it's really going to depend on, yeah, where you are in the race, if you're leading and conserving or whatnot. So it's going to be who can, on the fly, work out that last fill, I think. And then, like I said, some of the GT1 cars might do this on 2 stops, on 1 stop.
So Pegasus
We will
has
see.
been in the pits for quite a while, had to repair some damage by the looks of it. He's coming out of the pits now. He's lost the place to Woody Lizard.
Yeah.
Who's at the he almost lost the lap to Woody Lizard as he's got in the way
He's getting
of Dado
handed here
Racer
now. Yeah.
at the final corner.
Oh,
Nothing
he'll be
they can
trying to
really
get out of
do.
the way. Yeah.
But
It's hard in these conditions too, and the speed difference at certain points in the track can be quite large. And he would have been, yeah, watching the boys coming, going, oh, well, I've got to go through the S-bend in front of them. Not very happy. Try and keep it smooth and out of the way.
so I think Woody must have had a mistake on the previous lap. That's a very slow lap time, even for a GT1 car.
Yeah. Maybe got off a little bit, because you get fed out here, you can lose quite a few seconds.
As we're going to see a change in overall positions in a second, with Jetto being hounded by Gear 3 Game.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
So that's close into a few seconds. It must be about 5-6 seconds.
Oh, what's going on?
So it's going to be... And...
No, what's...
So just seeing the Colonel Lloyd in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Aussie Cars is his Xbox disconnected itself from the internet at the end of qualifying when he set pole position, because
Yeah.
so instead he's driving the first stint in his brother's car, and they will swap when they make their first pit stop. So Gecko will jump into his car when they make their first pit stop.
Yeah, so we've lost a driver but picked up a co-driver. So we're pretty lucky really that like it would have been heartbreaking. I can imagine what went through Aussie Carters. All that effort, all this build up, put it on pole, thank you very much, get disconnected, don't even make it onto the start line and gone. But yeah, he's managed to jump in the sim rig next door and got Gecko's car here, so we'll see what he can do.
It's been a pretty good drive for Aussie Carters, as I say that, as he loses the back end. But to come from last to fourth now, it's been a pretty good drive.
Well, yeah, there's no shortage of talent here. These boys are pretty serious, so you know, and you wouldn't trust anyone to go and do the first hour in the wet of, you know, your race. You know, they've obviously work well together. They're fast. They'll do well. We might have a 2-person winner.
Could do. It's still 1 minute behind the race leader of Dado. He's pulled out to a second gap on Dark Racing on the previous lap. Dread's having some problems in these intermittent conditions at the moment. Really struggling with that last lap.
But like I said, if your car's predominantly set up for the dry, it will be it's not so bad if you can get it set into, you know, if the track's like it is and you can get your braking like, because when it's evolving like that, and the car will be with the stiffer suspension, you know, it'll want to light those rear tyres up a lot easier. So it's, you know, so hard. But what he's hanging out for is to be able to unleash that on some slicks, and when the track dries out, that'll all come to the front. So take the pain now is his plan, I think, and then try and come home fighting.
So a lap or two ago, Gear 3 Gaming got the move done on Jetto, because if you missed the race start, Gear 3 Gaming got caught up in an opening lap crash, had to come to the pits, repair, lost a lap. But he came out behind
the back
all
of the field,
GT1
right
cars.
Yeah.
He's done some
And
good
he's
laps,
back up
and
to
he's
8.
catching up.
So he's only got one more GT1 car to pass. So yeah, he got a bit lucky before. Was that with Night Pegasus going around in front of him? Oh, I can't remember who it was before, actually. I'm not sure. Oh, Jetto.
So
See,
the
it
top
looks dry in spots, and then they come down here, there's a bit more on. So yeah, it's going to be, every lap's going to be completely different, and it's going to take some self-control. As soon as you start to see a dry line light up, you know, your eyes light up. You want, yeah, we're good, we're getting drier, but it's very easy to make a mistake, which is what no one wants.
Oh, that was.
And as
I
we
think
speak,
that was.
yeah.
There was a car off there.
No,
Um,
no, it's
behind
not one
Dread.
of the
That might have
top
been.
4.
Could have been Metal Drive or Pars. One of them. It was Par that just
Is
fell
that
off the
was
circuit.
Par?
Pars now lost the lap to the leaders. Dark Racing's made the move on Dado Races.
he
So
has
Dado's made a
too.
mistake somewhere.
And we've got traffic again.
Yeah, they're right behind Night Pegasus at the moment.
And now, look, Dread's 3 seconds behind. So the last couple of laps, he's pulled up a second a lap. He's on the march. And I reckon you look at it, it's starting to dry out a bit.
Oh,
so
I just saw something go flying there. Someone got hit and went straight up. It was one of the signage boards, just saw it go past the camera there.
Really?
So I think Dado Racer just dropped it a little bit on the exit of that second chicane and just ran on the grass and has hit the signage boards.
And Senna and lost the position. So the seasoned veteran makes a little mistake there. That's all good. It's time. And now Dado's trying to run away, I think, and he's going to make his own mistakes if he's not careful. So, and Dread is sort of right behind there. And they've got a minute lead over Aussie Carter's and Got Gecko's car. So the top 3, it's going to be a 2-tier battle here, I think. One for the podium and one right behind it. And then, well, the GT1 class, CMD Cyrus is doing a stellar job.
Yeah, he's a long way away from Jetto now. It's getting close to more than half a minute, the gap.
Yeah.
But he's got Gear 3 Gaming coming up behind. You'd expect him not to fight it too much because they are in the different classes.
Different legs, and he'll know Gear's coming back through after a pit stop and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't expect to see too much hassle here. They'll both be hoping just to get it done quickly and easily without losing as much time as possible is, I think, what they'll be the deal here. We're not racing each other, let's just make this as easy as possible and get on with it. Both have got their heads down in their respective positions, trying to just, well, at the moment it's just peel off lap times, isn't it?
Yeah, you see the drivers are still struggling at the moment. Just seeing Gear 3 Gaming and CMDR Series in this last lap, they're really struggling. The track is still slippery despite the rain having eased off. But here we go now, Gear 3 Gaming pulls alongside CMDR Series. And
there
they've got
goes.
similar straight line speeds because these cars both compete at Le Mans way back in the day.
He dropped it on the second
I
apex
think
there.
that was a bit of lag there. Cause
I hope so.
oh,
He's off.
Cirrus
Oh,
is
I do think I've got the commentator's curse, mate. No one will want me to commentate again with this. Everyone will want me on the cameras for catching all the action. Oh, that looks very taily. Oh.
Well, Cirrus has got away with it.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a lead there, so that's going to drop him back now, though. Well, he's still, well, I would say more than comfortable at the moment. But, you know, he may have a wet setup car. He might have been, all right, I'm going to go fast out of the gate, and then they're going to have to try and catch me in the end. I might be second slower a lap, but, you know, he's got a 30-second lead.
Yeah,
You're going to have to be on your toes to catch him, so...
We're not quite seeing it at the moment, but that puddle that's at the bottom of that hill that Sirius just reached is quite big, and these drivers are still struggling
you can
to get around.
See the splash there, yeah.
As if we can maybe jump on board with Jetto and follow him over the next part of the track. We can see if we'll be able to see if we can see what the track state is like.
Road.
They have to slow it right down to get
Look at
it.
it. Look at the sheen there, though. That is slippery. It's crested, and this is usually fast. And there's a lot of rubber in there.
There's the puddle there that the drivers are struggling.
Massive. That's what's catching them out. And that puddle will get bigger and smaller. So every lap you come in there, you know it's a big puddle, but yeah, it will vary as well. So you don't want to lose too much time taking in too much account, but you can't. You've got to respect it too.
And that's going to make the call to go onto slick tyres very, very difficult because most of the track will be dry, but that puddle there is going to still
wet.
be there. It's going to take a long time of cars running over it to clear the water there.
Especially on slicks, like on the wets, it's not too bad. You move a lot of water, but if they switch to slicks, like they'll just float over the top of it, so they're not going to push it off at all. It'll actually take warming the racetrack up to boil it off.
Yeah, the sun's starting to peek through just a little bit now.
It is. So what are we? We're 20 minutes in, so we should be looking at coming clear now. I believe there was, I think 3 weather patterns, so it was rain to...
So various states of cloudiness is what the Weather Bureau is saying.
That's what they've texted through to us.
The weather's going to keep improving as the race goes on, but it's just this period here, and even in 10-15 minutes from now it's going to be even more difficult than what it is now, with varying levels of track grip, track state.
Well, you look at Jetto there, he's got 36 litres of fuel. I think I'd be pretty happy with where I'm at the moment. You've got enough fuel to do a few laps. Oh, that is big puddle there. That was what I would call pussyfooting it.
But you see Jetto there, he took a different line to make sure you could go through the puddle as straight as possible.
That's
without
exactly. You put any
the next corner.
You'll be off throttle, rolling through it as straight as possible. If you apply any throttle or any input in there, you're sliding. You've just put your I'm not sure what these things weigh, a ton of car on an aquaplane. So yeah, it's like this sorts them in from the boys here, and the times are definitely coming down now. So we're 140 for Darky. Let's jump on board with Darky, and see what it's like in the LMP9.
Yeah, we'll just go for a lap there, so we'll shut up, turn the volume up, and let you guys enjoy. that was a lap of dark racing as he slides his way around this track. As always, just lost the back end there coming out of the bowl section. Crucially, hasn't lost any time. He's actually picked up a fair bit of time on Dado Racer.
Yeah, he's pulled 5 seconds, so he's they've dropped down. This is the fastest they've been all race now. We're 1:38.7 that last lap. So it's dry. You can see in spots it's still quite wet, but there is dry line like there's as we come through here back onto the main straight. It's patchy, dry lines, wet lines. So this is a real battle of skill, and yeah, it's only gonna get wound up from here, I'm afraid. But Darky's making a run for it, so he's the one. He's gone. He's got 21 litres of fuel on. So he's got, I'm not sure what they use a lap actually here. Maybe 27.
It's not too much really. Well, we've got an hour and 15 minutes left of this race.
So he'll want to go as far as he can past the hour. You're trying to get rid of that third splash and dash if you can. Because now the fuel consumption is going to go up a lot by the looks of this. So a couple of seconds slower that lap, but right there. And as you start trying dry lines and leaning on them, that's where the cars are getting taily now, because the boys are trying to apply that throttle a bit more. Oh, that was probably a touch fast in there. Well, you got away with it. Get the car straight through the puddle, let it roll, and dealt with it on the other side. Yeah, he goes in there a bit like me. Hit that first apex and bounce over, and as soon as the car lands, don't hit the second one, and you've basically, as soon as the car lands, you've got to plant the power and launch it down that straight.
Yeah, you can see down here the track is pretty much dry.
It's drying.
So they're able to push very hard, and this is why the lap times have come down. It's just that,
and fuel consumption's going to go through the roof, and the tyre wear's going to start to come into effect here as well, and set up. But look at all the times, so they're all, the top three are all under 140s now. And each time you come around, you go, that bit's dry now. So they're going to find little bits here and there. But we've got they've gone a bit of a gap. Darky's managed to halt the field here. It's a bit risky in here, but it's a good play. I like it. He's not afraid of taking a challenge.
Yeah,
but he's open as the taps now. I'm out of here. He's going to have to try and catch me later.
Yeah, Dark Racing 40's had a very strong year so far. He won the Daytona 24-hour race with Gear 3 Gaming. And,
I don't remember that. I only remember who comes second there, mate, I'm afraid. Some handsome man called Shads, and he's offsider, loft banished. Nah, it's good. He's a solid competitor. He knows what he's doing. This will be his plan, and like he would have gone, all right, this is where I'm happy. The track's starting to dry. I'm gonna start to push. So he's off, and who's he coming up on here? So
he's coming up on Pegasus.
Yeah. So now he's 7 seconds. So he's pulling seconds over the boys now. He's 1.5 seconds over Dado that last lap.
Yeah, Darky's adjusts his driving style a lot more, or much better in this section of the race than what Dado has. Dado probably being a bit more cautious. He'll know that he's got a long gap to. He's got a long gap to Aussie Carters and got Gecko in 4. So he knows that he can just play it safe through this challenging period of the race and hope that when the track gets safe enough.
You pop out on the podium here, you've had a freaking awesome day. Like, yeah, he'll know that. And he'll know not to get caught up in a chase with Darky. Darky's laying his cards on the table now, and he's going to make his run. Dado's not going to be too fast. He's got his own plan. He knows what he wants to do. You don't want to get caught up in a race and, you know, hurt your fuel numbers and stuff like that. He'll let him go. You know, you have your little fun out the front there, mate, and I'll catch up with you a bit later on down the track. We've got an hour and 11 minutes to go. I'll see you a bit later on when they hand out the trophies. I'll come and see you again, he says. So, you know, it's on you. These top three with 12 seconds. Dread started out well, got away, and then a couple of mistakes. He was 5 seconds, so Darky and Dado's jumped on Dread, and Darky's jumped on Dado. But that's going to be an ever-evolving thing, and then once we get setups and into a full dry track and the track starts to grip up with 40 minutes to go, then we'll be this will be very interesting, I think.
And yeah, the guy to factor in for the minor placings at the moment is Gear 3 Gaming, who's ever since he made that very early pit stop, he's been flying. He's been consistently the 3rd to 4th fastest car throughout the entire race, and he's starting to creep up on Metal Drive.
He's got the speed at the moment. He's got the speed of the top 3 there. No worries at all. He'll be ruining his mistakes, but like I said, he'll be head down. And he's obviously coming good now. The car's fast now. That's what you want. Then now's the time. The truck, I mean, look at it. It's drying every lap. It's a lot drier. So, you know, what times do they go to slicks on? You know, it'll be before 133.
It's going to depend on
134, 135?
Yeah, it's going to... It's not
It's
sure.
going to depend on fuel as well.
It's going to depend on fuel. It's going to depend on the track stay. Like, up here at the top of the circuit, it's still quite slippery. Like, right down here at the bottom of this bowl.
Yeah, but if you can run 80% of this lap on slicks, warm, you're going to be seconds faster than these guys in second. So you can afford to lose a little bit. But, like, that puddles, that's staying. That's going to be a feature for the next 20 minutes at least, I would say. And when they get on slicks, that's going to be a lot more interesting. But yeah, where is that crossover point? Where, you know...
I would just see what the fuel's looking like for the GT1 cars as well.
Alright,
because...
have a look. So, Gecko's got 16 litres left in his. Where's CMD Cyrus? 24.
There's sort of 25 litres left, so they're looking pretty
That's
good.
That's quarter of their tank. So they're only stopping, but they're going to start to use, like, these things will chew the petrol now. They can, once they can get their power down, they're going to be a lot thirstier as well. So, well, it depends how you play it. What's your strategy? Go out there, try and circulate, keep low fuel, be consistent. Or just go taps open and maybe have to stop again after, you know, make a second stop.
But Sirius has done a very solid job. He's picked out a very sizable gap to Jetto. It's about 31 seconds at the moment. Could be more.
I reckon actually Jetto's actually... I don't think Jetto's losing any more time to him.
It's just accumulated over the stint. Sirius has been by far the most consistent driver.
Like I say, if he had a wet setup, so Jetto was 2 seconds faster than him last lap. So now the dry setup might come in, and like I said, Sirius has made his run, maybe with a bit of a wet, lean towards a wet setup, and now Jetto's got to chase him back down. But like at the moment, it's easy to drop a couple of seconds. Like you have a little moment through that puddle there or something, you know, a second or two slips by pretty quickly. So that's anywhere, and then for the third, Woody's just holding up the tail there, and he's, well, you know, you wouldn't want to, in anyone's position, I wouldn't want to be making any mistakes, really. As Darky just continues to pull a big lead. Look at that, he's up to 10 seconds now.
And in fact, Dread is starting to close up on Dado Racer now.
Yeah, so he's closer to Darky's times at the minute. And Dado last lap, so but there's traffic and everything. This is yeah. Not been a bad little watch actually for a Saturday afternoon when you can't really leave the house. So
Yeah, we thank everyone for tuning in to watch this
it's a
race.
motorsport since we're having an off year this year. Year Glen 20, I'm calling it.
And it's our simulated 4 hours of Imola race where we only do it over 2 hours, but with times 2 progression. So everything that's actually happened out with track is happening 2 times faster than what real time would be.
The tyre wear and stuff like that is, yeah, they'll be feeling that now. You're at an end of the stint. So Dread's got 7.8 litres and he's got no choice but to come in, which I think is going to actually work out really well. Like the track's, it's Slick's time, I reckon. And the first to gamble and get them on will get.
These
yeah,
drivers, the drivers will look to be erring on the side of caution, especially with that puddle that is
still. They'll be looking at those dry lines though and those long straights going.
Yeah, I'm surprised these drivers haven't moved offline yet to try and find some deep parts of the track.
Yeah.
And see we
maybe.
go Dread.
Well, you've got a couple of laps left at best, so the track has probably been pretty natural pulling the tyres anyway until now, and now they're in just destroy the tyres off and get new ones in a minute, and they're going to have some more grip for me.
Dread now putting the pressure on Dado Racer.
Yeah.
As Dado Racer weaving to the right and then back left to try and get some water onto his tyres to have cool.
See
down.
that little section's all dry there. This is fast.
Oh, look at that. Even Dado resorting to going on the grass there to try and get some cool.
Yeah, cool it down.
And Dread down the outside into second place.
But also in your mind is I need to squeeze laps out of my fuel. Like I need every lap I can get to try and make it home. So, you want to race, you want to save fuel. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And it's all going to get put through the wash in a minute as they start to run out. So, see, Darky's down on 2.8. So his little runs cost him 3 or 4 litres of fuel.
Well, he's committing to the splash and dash at the end. So that's what you've got to do now. You have to commit now. Do you drive hard and go for the splash and dash and try and build the gap so that you have a pit stop buffer, or do you feel safe to you might lose a fair bit of time here. It's darking very deep. That's actually
it's still a bit wet up that hill there. That's going to be very tricky on slicks.
It will be
through the pedal, they're going to get wet. Up
in
the
this
hill, still wet.
This period of the race, was probably not a bad idea for Darky to run really wide there, just to get some water on those tyres, just to help cool them down. Because the rest of this track is dry now and is ready for slicks.
Yeah.
But it's just that
but he's got
1.4
litres, so this will be a pit stop. He'll be coming in here. He'll be on with the slicks.
Straight
first
in.
One.
He's the first car to come into the pits for their scheduled pit stop.
And this is going to be interesting. So, Dado's being knocked back in third here with Dread.
He got past on the previous lap there.
Yeah.
It was on the screen where Dread went down the outside into that second to last corner. Dread actually going for one
he's going to get another lap.
So by running slower, Dread has got. By running slower, Dread has got an extra lap out of his tank. Dado is into the pits now. So both Darky and Dado, you would expect them to go onto the soft tyres.
Yeah, and so they would have had to guess at start pressures and that too. So, we've got a bit of, oh no, it sat back down on the road. We had a bit of airfall actually.
So Darky now back on track. He's come out in second place still. So that massive gap that they've built up has meant that they've come out ahead of Aussie Carters.
And so now Dread is gone, my car got overheating wet tyres on, I've got no fuel, and a track that's 90% dry and 10% scary as hell. I'm going to push like hell. He's managed to weave another lap out of it. That could be essential, you know.
But it will be interesting to see how Darky handles that bowl section
I don't know, actually.
when he approaches
He's
it.
still coming down on
time.
an hour. We've still got over an hour, so when he pits, he's going to have an hour, and they're going to use a lot more fuel. So it's definitely a splash and dash.
I definitely want to see Darky just to see how he handles on the first lap on slick tyres. We assume he's on the slicks. He's survived. What about Dado? Is Dado going to be able to get through cleanly as he rounds this corner? But this is going to be
that would have been, yeah.
This is going to be the trouble. Is Dado's actually not putting fuel in? So he's actually just done a little splash and dash.
No.
So
he's done. He'll be on his wets.
Yeah, so he's done his splash and dash now. Stayed on the wet tyre. So he's going to use the wet tyre.
And he's going to go. I'll
bit
sweep another 5 or 6 laps out of it, and we'll throw some. Yeah, well, that's a safety play.
Yeah.
So all the strategies are coming out now. Darkies was, find the point and try and run away, which he's done. He's got we'll see, Dread's in now doing his pit stop too. So Darky's back into the lead. We'll see how these gaps come out.
Well, I guess then Darky didn't put much fuel in either. And Dread's now out of the pits.
No, Darky's full.
Okay, so Darky
must be top. So he's got to be on slicks.
And he's still got a massive gap.
Dado didn't. Dado put like 15 litres in, maybe. Not even, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's right behind Dread
He's
now.
taken 6. Yeah.
So I wonder how much Dread is topped up. He must have put a fair bit.
So Dread's full. So they're going to try and make it. They're not going to make it, are they?
No.
But then now it's dry.
But
I'm sorry for the phrase, but
Darky and Dread will be on the slick tyre. But Dado, I would assume he would be on the wet tyres.
Oh, I reckon he's. You would have. That's got to be your play, doesn't it? It's not. I'm not comfortable yet. So I think I can do the times. I'll just get another 5 laps of fuel, say, and well, even if it's 3 or 4, let it dry out a few more. We'll come put it on, and then he knows he's running home.
Here we go. Dado's having a look down the inside into the chicane. They've got side by side. Dado into second place now. He's got the move done on Dread. Did he run too wide though? Because if he ran a little wide, he could get a slowdown.
He's going. Dread back in. He's out of there now. He's not slowed up to catch him, so I think we're good.
So Dado's still keeping up good pace in this dry section. So
that's fun, isn't it? It's old tyres, full car, fuel. There's all sorts of strategies going on here in the top 3 at the moment, and well, it's 15 seconds across the podium at the moment, so within just under an hour to go. So, and now we've got a dry track bar, probably one big puddle. So we'll get a look. It's all completely dry. I think we're going to be down to our puddle at the moment, and then we'll be down into the, I would say 33s-ish with a full tank of fuel if the boys were 31s and whatnot.
That is interesting how much Dread has dropped off the back of Dado. So
yeah, but he's full of fuel, so Dado's got no fuel. There's 80 kilos difference in the cars. And
I was expecting
tyres
Dado to be still in the wet tyre, but maybe Dado's on the slick tyre. Because that's a massive pace difference.
Yeah, well it is. And he's done, like he was 3 seconds quicker than Darky that lap, so maybe he did. Maybe he just went the short fuel. I'm doing it early and I'm going home. I don't want to worry about it. I'm going to do it, take my medicine, and I know from that point, so this is his strategy. From that point, I want to know basically when I can run full tilt home. So
yeah, it's certainly an interesting play. We've never seen anyone in
But the lap times are just swinging around so wild with traffic. You can be 3 or 4 seconds off the pace. You know, 140 down to a 136.7 now. So Dado's flying. He knows he's light. He knows this is his time to make up some time, hopefully. Then he's going to go in and do his second stop, top it off with fuel, and he'll be the first one that's fueled, I would say, to make it definitely home. So which is not a bad strategy to have, you know.
Guthrie came into 5th place now. So, and he looks like he's closing heavily on Gok Gecko, who Gok Gecko's just jumped into the car.
Well, he's back up into the field of LMP9s, isn't he? This was a couple of laps in, on the back of the grid. It all went bad. But like you said, put your head down, get into it, and he is. And he's up there. He's got a 4th place on offer there. He's 15 seconds behind and an hour to go. And the boy's quick.
Yeah. The GT1 cars are starting to make the pit stops now. Woody's just come out of the pits, and Sirius has just jumped into the pits.
So they've got an hour and 5, so they've got a slight short field here, technically, from what I'm seeing.
Well, I would actually pull it to the top because the pace is going to be quicker in this session. They're going to go on the slicks as well.
Is true. So
Dado back into the
5 minutes up their sleeve.
So
yeah, this will be close. They'll have to be watching that fuel to make it home.
Well, Dado into the pits now. I would have thought Dado might have wanted to go a little longer, but he's going to now have to top it up. If he's on the slicks, he won't change the tyres. As there he goes, got the full fuel.
Right, yeah. He's topped off now, so
now we know for sure that Dado will be on the slick tyres.
He'll be on the slick tyres, and I'm pretty sure he's heading home now. He's looking. Then his next stop is at the finish line. So I reckon he's our first one. That's this was his strategy. He's I want to get as close as I can, get the car filled as soon as I can, and onto the slicks. Now that you're going to have a bit of high tyre wear here, but the track will evolve and grip up pretty quick. It just had a big wash, you know. Once the soft tyres go down on it, the track's just going to keep getting faster and faster and faster. So he's just going to sit down and now just try and better his lap times every lap, I would say, until he sees a black and white flag waving at him.
Exactly right. Just starting to see some fast times now put down as the slick tyres start.
So he got Gecko. So that's my first time he's got me. Aussie Carter's in there.
No, that's got Gecko in the car.
It is got Gecko now, that's right. They've made their stop. So he's back into his own car. With a late double entry there when Aussie Carter's set the pole time and then disconnected and didn't make it to the race. And actually swapped and jumped into Got Gecko's sim and run his car for the first half, and now Got Gecko's got control again of his destiny, and he's just done a 1:30, so he is the fastest guy on track at the moment. He's got a lot of time to make up, but 52 and a half minutes to do it in. And he's very consistent and very fast, so there's going to be, Now mistakes are going to cost you 10 times again, because everyone's going to start going faster and faster. So, yeah. This should get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at somebody in the field. Arrow.
He's got a lot less fuel than the other drivers, so he's a bit off sequence at the moment. I think he made a pit stop halfway through that opening stint.
Yeah. And I think he may have had to, then stop again, and it's well, look here.
Oh, we just had Woody lose a disconnect there.
Oh no, he has too. So lap 41 for the main lead guys anyway. Oh no, that's 2 disconnects.
That is so unfortunate for Woody. He was just sitting comfortable in that 3rd position in class.
All that hard work, all just disappears in front of your eyes. Nothing you can do about it, Colin. And you were setting up for this run home, so the next half an hour is gonna set set up your strategies proper, and we'll see who's actually got it here. But Darky's in another level.
He's flying, not quite the fastest car on the track. That goes to Dog Gecko, but he's still pulling away from Dredd.
But he's got 40 seconds nearly on Dredd, so like his strategy is obviously as soon as it got dry enough, go like all hell and deal with the petrol as you have to. So he's got enough for a stop. I'm not sure how long the pit stop is here, but I reckon he's got a pit stop in his hand.
And an interesting battle is going to be Dredd versus Dado, with them both of them being off sequence to each other. Dado going to the end, we assume. So
yeah,
and it looks like he's only 16, 17 seconds behind. So depending on how long the pit stop takes for Dredd as Dado runs wide. That's
yeah, like I said, I didn't actually run through the pits here, so I'm not quite sure how long that is, but it's usually with 20 seconds-ish maybe, so...
It is quite a long pit lane.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, so 39s now.
Dredd's
just lost a lot of time, 20 seconds there. What's going on there?
That's why the gap has dropped dramatically. It actually should be better, but bigger. But yeah, that's actually a bit unfortunate.
Dado's 20 seconds. Yeah.
That could cost Dredd both the win and the and it could cost him 2nd place.
Well, yeah, and Dado's not a man you want full of fuel bearing down on you, like you've got to stop. He doesn't make many mistakes, so yeah, it's interesting. This last 20 minutes is, I think there's going to be a few raised heart rates. 137s, 136 for Darky now. Paro 136.9. Here's 138, 137s. So that's traffic, and while that puddle's still affecting it, it's varying the lap times a fair bit here. And Darky's just managed to use that to his advantage. What a drive so far. I mean, the cat's not in the bag yet, but he'd be pretty happy. He'll be trying to keep his concentration on what he's doing and not get too fussed about it, just do his race plan. You know, you've all got that confidence, and you know if you do it well, you should hopefully come out on the shiny end. Yeah. Well, that's our plans, and we're all, Oh, see, it's drying up there a bit now. We went through there a bit quicker then.
Yeah, cars are just, they're just been able to disperse the water just a little bit, I reckon.
So Colonel Lloyd says we need at least 50 seconds for a pit.
I don't think it's quite that long though, because the last pit stop is they're only doing a splash and dash, so they're only going to be stationary for 5 seconds.
Well, actually, so Dredd's going to have to stop again too, so really he's got 56 seconds up his sleeve. It's Dado that's the man that's pitted and running. So even if it is 50 seconds, he still drops 6 seconds in front. Which is, so, that's not far. And then, with colder tyres and bringing it all up again and everything, so Dado will just be going, I would assume, trying to go with traffic just faster and faster, and as the fuel comes out of it and the grip comes up. it becomes a completely different race from what we were witnessing an hour ago, with pretty much torrential rain on a dry track at the start, but it got pretty wet. It rained for the first 45 minutes or so, I suppose, before it started drying up. So now everyone's settled in. We've got mostly a dry track. So we've got spray coming up there, but I can't really see the puddle. Like I said, the slicks don't really move much water off there. It's going to have to evaporate as the track temp comes up. Got Gecko, Aussie Carter's there with a 35.7. Yeah, so got Gecko's on the march. Got 2 minutes, I can make that up. It's all good.
And
45 minutes to do it. If you're not going to have a go, you wouldn't be here. So he's going to give it a crack. You know, if he can sneak onto that podium there, the race is a long way from over here.
yeah, he's they'll just be spilling. They lost so much time at the start of the race because now it's dry.
Yeah.
That the number one Audi is factoring in quite nicely in terms of lap speed.
Yeah. So the GT1 guys, they're 142s, 143s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing decent lap times as well.
Yeah, they're not that far away. Like, the other cars are bouncing between now 136s, 135s and nearly 140s with traffic, depending on where you get it. So it's all swings and roundabouts at the moment, and you just trying to hope you wash out on the other side on the good end of it. And Aussie Carter's, unfortunately, I struggled driving in a different sim, completely different to mine. And absolutely, you could have exactly the same setup and sitting in someone else's, it just feels wrong. It's like dating someone else's girlfriend. So Cock Gecko was pretty nice to let him get away with that.
Yeah. These front runners have, in both classes, have built up massive gaps at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the credit of being fast and consistent as well. Is one of
exactly right. And they're the guys that have obviously put the time in as well. They've picked their strategies, when their time's been, they've made their move as it goes. And so, they're the guys that have practiced, sorted everything out, gone and, run the 2-hour session a few times and, had a fair crack. This is what I'm going to do when they got onto that start line, which is great to see. Stick to your guns, believe you've got the best strategy, and go out there and show the boys what you got, and see who's going to come out in 42 minutes with a smile on their face.
Gear 3 game went a bit wide there coming out of the bowl.
And
he's straight
really
line.
wide there.
Hello.
That's just his connection issue there, so hopefully that hangs around, we don't lose another one.
Yeah, that'll be a bitter pill to swallow for Gear 3 Gaming. He's had a brilliant drive after being caught up in opening lap shenanigans.
But look, he's sitting in 5th now. You've got to be really happy with that, you really do. Like, you were last on, the 1 lap in, 2 laps in. That shows a bit of commitment. He had to put his head down and just get it done. He hasn't rage quit or anything like that. He's stuck his head into it, and he's, dragged a good result out of this. Good work.
You should be pretty proud.
I reckon you would. And, how it plays out. So he's 30 seconds behind Got Gecko. Like I said, he's got a minute on Metal Drive behind him. Still quite a lot of spray in there. They'll be hoping that dries out as soon as possible. These boys will want to get down to brass tacks soon, so... Doesn't like the curbs there, a bit stiffer, a dry setup, keep him straight out.
Yeah. And that's just the difference in setup. Like, dark racing setup, you can really bounce the car off the curbs and it can handle it. Metal Drive's car just can't quite handle the curbs
Well, it
as much,
depends
so
on.
he has to stay away from them.
Well, it depends how you want to set your car up. So if you wanted that little bit stiffer, which will give you that little bit better traction here and there, yeah, that's the compromise, unfortunately, when you go to tracks like this, where they have quite a large curb. You won't really want to go near them, whereas if you run that slightly softer, the car will absorb that, no worries at all. So you have to make that decision at tracks. That's a conscious decision of, no, I prefer the traction, I'll just know I have to stay off, this curb and that curb. And there'll be curbs you can hit, but there'll be ones that are a big no-no too. Like that second apex out of that chicane before, the car, as soon as it hit it, was too big and the car stood up at the side and took him out wide and offline. Luckily, he stayed on the track. But, they're warming up now. They've done a lot of laps around here. The track's getting faster and faster. So 135.8 from Darky. Here's
just lost
136.
So now Par's disconnected from the...
We'll call that an engine issue, maybe. This could be a war of attrition here. Down to 9. We lost 3. We've kind of got half of one back. But look at the times. It's really starting to even out. So as the track dries out, their times are going to sort of even out a bit more. And their fuel strategies are all going to come to a head here. So 40 minutes to go. This next 20 is pretty important, and the 20 after that is where you get the deal done. So,
Darky, you'll have to take the reins off for just a few minutes. So we're going to sort out the emergency. All that.
Yep. No worries. Yeah. So Darky's he's setting the pace out there. We've got Gecko's going a couple of tenths faster, but that's not going to catch him up to Darky. But like I say, as the track evolves and while that wet line's still there and the track grips up, it's going to be an ever-changing ball game and traffic where if you get a tow from it, maybe even marginally or not. So. But I have to say, the boys have been pretty good today. There's been no real incidences to speak of. There's always a couple of minor rubs and scrubs, but that's racing. So both the classes now, the time's starting to even out a bit more. And the cars work very well on a half full tank of fuel as well. These sort of cars tend to have a very good balance in that mid fuel range. Must be the weight distribution helps it out a bit. They're actually very nice to drive about here. So some of them will be it'll be just feeling better and better, and you get braver and braver. But none of them will want to push too hard to make a mistake. It's still 35 and some change to go. A long way, a quarter race distance. And mind game start of fast lap times and fuel mileage. And what is the Lizard who dropped out before saying also changed rolling start to standing last time I used the online championship for a race like this again. Not happy, the boss is not happy. Everyone duck and cover. Teething problems. The boys push to bring an awesome service here at ANZCRL. And they're always striving to be better and whatnot, so sometimes these things happen. But I'm sure it's no love lost. So it's dark racing here. He's got a 40, close enough to a 45-second lead. Oh, as he fishtails through the swimming pool there. Pretty comfortable. He's one of the fastest guys on track. He's probably now just trying to settle in now. He'll be thinking about fuel economy and stuff like that. How much time have I got to play with? How long is my pit stop? How much time do I need to be ahead? But I reckon he's starting to maybe short shifting a little there, trying to save some fuel. And Dread's launching a bit of an attack now. So 136.412. Dado right behind him, 136.319. Have a look on board with Dado, hey? On the roof, and what's he got here? It's obviously pretty good. It's coming good. Gecko, 134. A bit late on the gas there, coming out of there, down the hill. But the run into the double left-hander, back onto the main straight, if you can call it that. Curvy straight, flat out. Oh. Yeah, there's still a river running there on the exit of the final turn too, so that's a traction issue, but the warm tyres will probably soak most of that up at the moment. So let's have a look here. I've got Gecko, he's set the fastest lap, 134.6. Dado Racer just made a mistake there too, actually. He's now a minute behind. I've missed that, sorry. But that's 20 seconds. Red's in the pit, so this is his dice rolling out on the table here. He's should be filled to go home. 50 litres for 33.5 minutes. I reckon that just would have been just fuel, splash and dash. Back out on the old tyres. There wouldn't be too much tyre wear here. This track's pretty good. And you'll want your warm tyres for the few little puddles that are left here and there. So this is, and so now he's washed out. So he's 49 seconds behind Dado, who we're led to believe. So he's got 55 litres. So he's got more fuel. So probably with a bit more guesstimation from Dado's end, having to pit a bit earlier. But it's only a few litres, so a lap of fuel. So now the battle for Dread comes to see if he can climb a bit higher on that podium there. Got Gecko's only 12 seconds behind him, and he's flying. How much fuel's he got? So it could be very interesting, folks. So I'm not sure who's holding all the aces, but there's a few options here. Dark Racing should have a pit stop up his sleeve, and it's just going to be about how long that stop is, where he's going to pop out in this little battle here. So let's have a look at Metal Drive, bringing up the rear of the LMP9 cars. It's a rough day. So I think with his lap times here, maybe a bit more of a wet setup. He's gone a bit softer. So he was probably a bit quicker in the rain, and try and keep on the road there, Metal Drive. On the black stuff. Drops it in there, back on the power, down the hill, and start it again. 31 minutes. We're coming down into the twilight. GT1 class. Again, quite comfortably, the 2 leaders have had a bit of a go. Dark Racing's come back a bit as he pits, but I think CMD Cirrus is going to the end and he's well in front there. He's got a couple of minutes up his sleeve, so he's really put his authority on that. Colonel Lloyd, he's worried about Got Gecko catching Dread. That's right, he's catching him fast too. Got Gecko is the fastest car on the track. He's set the fastest times and he's doing it consistently. He's coming. Definitely. It's down to second. He'll have him in sight very soon. There he is. Now you've got that incentive to chase him down. The old adage, you know, you want to take everything you can, but you step over the line by 1% and it's going to be a mistake, and no one wants them, so it's discipline now. I mean, got Gecko's pace, he's a couple of seconds faster than everyone. That's amazing. This is a pretty stellar run back, I must say. Nice and fresh after an hour off.
Back in now, and looks like this race has changed a little bit now.
Yeah. Darkin's got his lead there, but he's got a pit stop. I'm pretty sure he's going to need possibly another 10 or 15 litres, I reckon. Yeah. So he's going to lose a lot of that time, and he's going to wash right out into this battle with Datto, and then behind we've got a battle for the last podium spot with Got Gecko and Dread.
Yeah, where Got Gecko is lapping much faster, but will need to do a splash and dash.
4 seconds for that. Yeah.
Looks like Darky's got
trying.
enough of a buffer to Datto, where when Darky makes a pit stop, he should still pull out.
There's no room for a mistake, I don't think. If he, you know, if it's 40 or 50 seconds, he's going to come out. Yeah, well, I'd say we'll keep the same tyres. It'll just be fuel and straight through, but you still, it breaks your concentration and your rhythm, and you know, that's when mistakes happen. So he'll want to get it done, get it sorted, get out, and hopefully minimum fuss and just pop out. Well, I guess he's hoping 10 to 15 seconds in front, but still quite wet at the bottom of the hill there.
Yeah, that puddle's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Things.
Yeah, it's not moved at all in the last half an hour. It almost looks like it's going to rain again, which would really make it interesting.
That would be interesting. Another twist to what has been a topsy-turvy race.
Hasn't it? But yeah, Got Gecko here. He's laying the times down now. He's jumped in nice and fresh after Aussie Carter did his first stint. And he's said, I'll have the dry car, thanks. And they said he would let him drive. You can have my wet car, which is really a dry car in disguise, and I'll take it back. Just don't wreck it.
Yeah.
And he's jumped in, and he's 2.5 seconds quicker than everyone. So I'm pretty sure he's going to catch Dread here in the next lap or two.
It's amazing what could have been. It could have been the two brothers on the top in first and second had issues not performing.
Yeah.
Tonight,
but that's racing, isn't it? I mean, that's what you have to deal with, you know. Disconnects and accidents and bumping into people. That's why it's racing and not just driving around.
Yeah, that's why we have the mechanical failures in this game. Sort of turned off.
A disconnect can be the same as blowing an engine, you know, on a normal race car on a normal race day. So you know, all of that can happen. I've been in that situation in a race car and in the leader of your class, and all of a sudden you hear the engine go brrr. It's not a great feeling.
That's why you get that same feeling when you disconnect out of a race.
That's exactly right, yeah.
It's the challenges that we sim
The
racers
boys
have
are
to deal
living.
with.
That's exactly right. We might not have to sit in the rain all the way through it, but all of a sudden, randomly, you can just disappear. Especially, even if you're on the pole for the race, you've done all the hard work and, yeah, don't even get a chance.
It's all
But
drive
the
for
boys are...
Jetto here. Like, yes, he's a lap behind Cirrus, but he has.
Oh, Cirrus is another level here, so yeah. But
He's
you
kept it
know,
mostly
he's got a
clean and
big
consistent.
advantage over Pegasus. Like, you know, Pegasus has been around a while. He's not no silly bugger.
Yeah, Pegasus, get that iRacing has corrupted him. By the looks of things. A session
The
that
dark
was looking
side, they
promising.
call it, don't they? Here we go.
Here we go, he's Gear 3 Gaming.
Dealing with another GT1 car here. A bit of trouble now. They've got some traction.
He ran a little wide there.
A little wide.
I think that might have been Metal Jaw. I want to say no. It's
No,
Jetto.
it was Jetto. Yeah, what it might be. Yeah, see, you're getting that little battle and you want him and you're trying to chase, even not in the same class, you want to sit in his draft for as long as you can and, you know, get that extra few kilometres an hour as much as you can. It all means, you know, it'll all wash out at the end, so, 25 minutes to go. Yeah.
If I were got Gecko and I can't make it to the end, I'd be pitying now because he'd get himself into clear air. He's getting close to
leaders.
He's getting close to Dread now.
Yeah, he's out to the end. Well, if Dread's, well, he's got the same fuel as Dread. Will they have to stop? 30.
Well, they might be able to make it to the end then if they've got the same amount of fuel, unless Dread's.
See, maybe that's well, it's 137s. Maybe they're driving to a number.
Could be.
You know, maybe maybe he knows I can make it if I do one, you know, find up here at this point with this much fuel. If I do this number, I can make it home. So you don't know what's playing out yet. So, but like him and like Gecko and Dread are very similar on. So here we go. Where this one's going to get interesting now. But they're very similar on fuel. So. You know, even tucking up in the draft here and saving some fuel for a little while, not really losing lap time might be an option. It's a good time. You've got someone nice and fast in front of you. Maybe roll out of the throttle a little bit early and save some fuel on entry.
But also remember, based on the time deltas, it looks like these guys will be running a lap shorter than dark racing. So their fuel margin is not going to be as critical.
Yeah. This is I'll say, how far has Darky got to go? He's got 24. So Dread and Gokko got another 10 litres over him, so they've got, I assume, about another 3 laps.
Would have thought so. So they, yeah.
So what did we say it was going to work out for about 74 or 5 laps-ish, plus a couple, and they're on 59 at the moment. So we've got a petter down here, Metal Drive.
Drive into the pit, so he must have found a wall or something, because you'd have enough fuel to get to the end.
See, damage. Yeah, he should have. Fuel
went into
it must just have been a damage run. He might have clipped something or tapped the wall, maybe. I don't think it was fuel.
It was a quick pit stop for damage, though.
But it could have just been, yeah, well, I don't know, who knows. Sometimes you think, I'm going to be here forever, and it spits you out the other side, and sometimes you think that's not too bad, and you sit in there for 30 seconds, so...
Yeah, but you see what the number
it was obviously pretty bad to make him hit. It was obviously bad enough to decide, get out. So Gear Gaming up into 6th, into 5th. So he's got a minute to got Gecko, which is going to be a big ask in 21 minutes. But his lap times are good. He's right there in the lap times. He's lapping with all the boys. He'll be ruining that mistake early on.
Guess they're going to just phone me off at the moment with his internet. Just late
Yeah,
spot here and there.
It's worse when you're behind him and it happens. It moves 3 times into 3 different lines in a corner, or anyone's internet when it does it. It's not the most comfortable of things. It breaks the concentration very much.
This is in clear air now.
20 litres.
Yeah, it's Darky definitely will be looking to make a special dash near the end of the race.
He's only going to need a few seconds of fuel, so he's only going to be stopped for a few seconds. So it's pretty much a drive-through with roasted fuel at it. But...
And we've just had a change of position. Got Gecko now onto the podium, so Gecko's made the overtake on Dread. And now that he's out of that aero wash, he can now put his foot down and build a gap.
Yeah, well, he was 2.5 seconds faster before, so I expect that to pick up pretty quick. Dread will be like I said, wanting to sit in his draft and get a little bit of a toe to hopefully fight another day. You know, it's not over yet. So this is
Darky to the pits now.
Pits.
So this is going to be crucial to see whether or not...
and how much fuel he's going to have to get. Because this will be interesting, because Gecko and Dread have got about 10 more litres in him. Do they need to stop again?
Well, he's put a lot of fuel in.
That's a lot of fuel.
That's a lot. He is over.
But again, these cars are quite good with a half a tank of fuel. The weight balance in them is really nice. These prototype style cars, so
that could be
maybe
strategic.
Maybe it is I find the cars get really quick on a half a tank of fuel and used tyres. That he's going to come out here. He'll be on the march. So where's Dado?
So Dado's still at the back chicane there. So
yeah, so he's just coming down the hill now. Yeah. So
Darky still has a
comfortable. Oh, he's well comfortable. He's 30 seconds. So it was about a 30-second stop. All up with fuel and travel time through the lane. Yes. Oh, Darky will be now. He'll be starting to get a bit nervous. He's got 20 minutes, and he just has to keep it on the black stuff and point in the right direction. And he's going to win this event for his first time.
Yeah, that'll make it three different winners of this event with the 3 years we've run it. So this really throws up a few wild cards each year.
Yeah. And there's constantly guys coming in and moving up through to iRacing, so there's always someone new to race and someone different to learn how they operate. So great bunch of guys, really fast, really clean. Like I haven't seen any incidences with most of them have been self-inflicted, unfortunately. The guys have just and it's been a real strategy. They've all played different cards, and it looks like Darky's holding the aces here. So it didn't really give me an indication on whether Gecko and Dread are going to make it.
You'd expect that they would be able to, but if they've miscalculated their fuel, then that could bring out a lot of tears.
Oh, well, that means coming into now, you could be going, I have to all of a sudden mad fuel save. So, and like these two boys are hooked onto each other. So we've got 24.4, Gecko's 22.4. So there's 2 leaders in it, then nose to tail, and possibly have to make a pit stop. Doesn't get much more exciting for a driver than that, really, coming down 16.5 minutes left.
And Dread's been able to find another gear. When he got overtaken by Gokgeko, all of a sudden, Gokgeko hasn't lost it, Dread. So...
yeah, that puddle's going to be there, I think, until the end. So they would have hoped that, after 10 laps, that would have vanished a bit and got some nice traction out of that hill, because then the lap times will drop another 3 or 4 seconds, probably just with the drive through there.
I'll tell you what, that's
actually quite sick. So
it's a very cold quick engine for Dread. Only at that 85 degrees. So.
Well, that's setup philosophies. Everyone's got their own little tricks they like to play. So yeah, Darky's at 100. That's probably where I'd be looking to be sitting.
So Oregon Dread's
Dado's
a bit cool speed on the table.
Yeah. Shut your air intakes down a bit, which will give you a bit better aero and faster times, less drag. So, which is all calculations these boys had to make before, and when they sat down with their pencils out and their rulers and had to make up a strategy for today's race.
So Dado looks like he's going to be comfortable getting to the end. But
yeah, I reckon these two are the two to worry about. They've got that lap or two less fuel. I mean, Gecko's got less.
And
see, if I was
crucially,
I was worried, sorry.
But also crucially, they have got their lap back on Darky when Darky made that pit stop. So now all of a sudden,
they have two. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, they have to do that extra lap with the same amount of laps that Darky and Dado have to do.
Well, they're right on it now, so Darky must be right behind there. He's only a few seconds behind.
No, he's in front of him. Sorry, my mistake.
So he's already gone.
So
well, he's on 134s there, 136, so he's just gone past him.
Okay, so...
Darky will be pretty happy about that. He's like, I've lapped everyone up to Dado.
Yeah.
And Dado's 31 seconds behind me, and if I don't balls it up for the next 13 minutes, very happy. So out of the 2 events we've had, the 2 non-series events, special events we've had, it's like Dark Racing is going to come out on top.
Well, Colonel Lloyd did win in Daytona 500.
Ah, yes, I missed that one, sorry.
So
yeah, I did too.
Don't necessarily want to... We don't want to...
No, we don't want to take one away from anyone. No, they're hard enough to get.
Also,
but, yeah.
He's also one of our iRacing graduates. That Daytona 500 win for Colonel Lloyd must have inspired him to jump and just race oval after oval after oval every day.
Well, we're all motorsport fans here. I think, we're all sort of cut from the same sort of bark here. We love our motorsport, and when you get involved in the sim racing, well, it's the depth of it over the last year. What I've been getting into it is incredible. Like, I've been playing video games since video consoles were, what some of the young kids wouldn't even know what to do. And what I've got now, and what the guys can do, and race around with people around the world, and a series like this for Australia and New Zealand with some top talent is it's great fun. And for us mad petrol heads that live on this stuff, we can't get enough.
So down to the last 12 minutes now, so it's sort of chilled out a little. Still the battle rages for 3rd place, though it is starting to spread out a little bit. Got Gecko just starting to eke out a couple of tenths here and there.
Well, these boys are going to be very close. They could be master planned, but they're very close on fuel. 11 minutes, a minute and a half. We've got, what, 7 laps-ish to go? What are we, lap 65? Yeah, so...
You'd think they would be able to make it, especially not having
They'll be able to
do
make
that
it with
extra
fuel
lap.
saving. Yeah. They'll be, yeah, well it's going to be if they're both fuel saving maybe a little bit until they know their green light, and then I don't expect this little fight to be over just yet. Both very quick, both raced each other very well in the last series. And the Fords.
Yeah, that Aussie Carter's got up on.
Yep, and he was looking very good for this one too in the special events, but
Oh,
the internet
Gecko's just made a
unplugged.
mistake.
He did, yeah.
Just spun out at that second to last quarter, and now that's Dredd back into third place, and now Gecko's got to do that work all over again.
Yeah, so this is on now. Well, see, maybe one's just reached his fuel limit. I can run flat out now. Because I think they're very, yeah, well, Red's got more fuel by 1.5 litres. It's not going to get him a lap.
Every second, every minute that ticks by brings it more, makes it even more of a chance.
Imperative that, yeah.
Especially now that Gecko's lost so much time now that he's got to make up the ground.
Well, they're down in the 140s now, so...
Yeah.
Well, it was 137, so his mistakes cost him 3 seconds and a position.
Yeah, now it's just going to be a case of he's got to catch up to Dredd, pass Dredd, and try not to use too much fuel.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Whereas you do get, like I said, if you're close on fuel and he's in a nice spot in the draft there, he will be able to lift and coast a bit early probably if he needs to save some. So maybe it's not a bad position. Maybe he went, oh look, I maybe want to be in that draft. It's not a bad position to be in, you know. But Dredd's not going to make it easy. You know, he's in the lead of this race at the start. He'll be pretty disappointed if he doesn't make the podium. So it's, yeah.
Both these boys deserve to be on the podium. There's been two stellar drives. Dredd being Mr. Consistent for most of the race. And got Gecko starting from last place on the grid. He's had to fight back.
Well, with Aussie Carter's in the car, don't forget that. It was
Aussie Carter's
quick last minute change, and
had to drive in a different sim to what he was used to, different rig.
Which we've heard him say on the chat, he was not happy, which I said during the cast. It's weird, nothing's where you want it to be. There's little, even in just in car setup, little intricacies, I think that's how you say it, that we all like to have in a car and handling traits.
Oh, look at this, Gecko's just put a move on Dredd.
So these boys are on now. See, this is going to be a bit of a ding-dong. We've got 7 minutes,
back
3 or 4 laps.
8 minutes to go. It's
There's nothing in it. They've swapped positions twice in the last 2 laps. And they've got a pretty safe lead behind them. Here Gaming with his massive comeback there. He's a minute behind this pack again, and very comfortable. Metal Drive bringing up the rear of the LMP9 class. Might just have a quick flick in here. Cyrus, man, he's been in his own class, in the same class as other people. This guy has driven the doors off this thing. And a 2.25 minute lead at this point in the race is a pretty amazing effort. That's massive.
Yeah, doing very well.
Jetta will be second in the class. He'll be happy with that. He's had a few dropouts and stuff like that, but he's done the work. He's done 2 hours, or very near 2 hours now. He's lost a couple of minutes, but also he's a couple of minutes ahead of Night Pegasus, so it's maybe not the dream, but you're on the podium. It's a good day. Car looks pretty straight. Let's have a look. I don't think I've seen anyone with any real damage. That just shows you to the level of respect and that between these guys.
And
they want to race hard and fair.
And any damage that was sustained has been easily repaired in the pits.
Yeah,
the only driver that's lost a significant amount of time in the pit lane has been Night Pegasus. As Series getting lapped by
and his car's probably he's had a hard day, but then again, look at this is how it's going to wash out. He's had a terrible day. But how'd you like third in your class? What was that, 5 entrants on the start in this?
There's 4 in the GT1 class.
4 GT1, so
couldn't quite
dropped out.
Very unfortunate.
So he's had a pretty tough day, but I mean, at the end of it, he comes out third in class, and next year when you look back on it, it's not going to look so bad. He'll be grilling a bit today, and he'll want to come back stronger and better, but like I said, you come out with a third place in class, you'll be happy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get him.
That's exactly right. He'll get a nice little certificate, and he'll be happy with that. We should be happy with that.
Dread now is still on the back of Gold Gecko. This is not over by any shot of the imagination. Down to 6 litres with 5 minutes to go. I don't think he's going to make it. I think Dread's going to have to make a splash.
I reckon they're both going to have to. There's only a litre between them, so that's not allowed in the Euro. So if one does, they'll both have to. So this could get very interesting with 5 minutes. So Dread 5.8 points. He's got less, so he's got a litre less, but so it doesn't really. Yeah,
these guys have not. They have not calculated their fuel very well.
They've missed it by that much.
This will all depend on Darky, where Darky
this is going to be
in relation. It's gonna.
So we got 4 minutes. So Darky's doing 136s pretty consistently now. So it's at 3 minutes. So it's like 2.5 laps left or something. I think I don't know. This is all going to get a bit crazy in a minute.
It is. It's going to be the battle of the pit crews to see who can get ahead.
This is going to come down to a pit stop with under 4 minutes to go. It's going to be under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, so
in a 2-hour race for the final podium position overall.
Yes, so I'm expecting 3rd, 4th and 5th all to come into the pit lane in the last minute or 2 of this race.
You are right, too. They slide over that pit marker. That's a 10-second penalty on the way into the pits. If you come in there a little bit too hot, that's 10 seconds. That is going to drop. That this is a 3rd place. This is going to be interesting to watch.
And if you don't have your strategy set up correctly, if you accidentally,
who has to take more fuel because they didn't allow for it? Yeah,
put too much.
It's going to be this lap because there's 3 litres in there now coming up, so they're going to have to put this lap, I reckon, which is going to leave a lap to go. So these guys are going to come out of the pits, maybe lost a bit of tyre temp, and they're going to juke it out for a lap. This could actually be a pretty epic little battle here. There's no real other contestants. Darky's just cleared out the front there. He's pulling time again away on Dado.
This is where...
and Dread. This is the action.
This is where Gecko probably has more of an advantage than Dread, because if they have to make a pit stop, those guys know where.
They didn't go in.
Oh, what's happened to Dread?
Look, he slowed down.
He has.
He slowed down, and he went to go in, but he didn't go. So he's got 2 litres left. Sorry, wrong way. They're not going to make it around.
Gecko, 1.1 litres. Gecko's going to run out of fuel.
He's not going to make it back.
He's made a...
And I think that's what Dread seen. He went to go in and seen Gecko's gone, and he went, I think he second-guessed himself. And he's got the more fuel here, so Oh man, they're gonna have to put the car in lean, which I've never ever done, like in save fuel mode, big time here.
Yeah, this is a
They're
bit
gonna lose massive gear gaining. Will be bearing down atop of them 1,000,000 miles an hour right now.
Well-
This could actually open this right up.
Yeah, Gear 3 Gaming is right on that edge, and
He's got good pace. He's lapping up there with sort of Darky. He's very consistent here. He's got 2 litres to go. He's not done it either.
he's risking it.
Oh no, 1/5. So where's Darky?
Darky is on.
This
okay,
is
so
this,
Gear is
one
on
more
last lap. Gear's on his last lap, so he's gonna make it.
I don't reckon he will. Darky's just.
He might make it, but
I reckon that there's been.
Got Gecko and Dread. Oh, let's get to Got Gecko. He's
This is
still
going to be.
ahead of Dread.
Yeah.
Dread got
Yeah,
0.8 litres. These guys are fuel saving like nothing.
There's nothing. That's it.
That
Flash,
is
he's
out.
over.
He's
I'm out.
clutched in. He's gonna cut the
I'm
track
out.
there.
I'm done.
He's
I'm
lost
gonna-
so much
he's
speed.
Trying to roll. And Dread's like,
And-
I'd love to just fly away, but
It looks
I've
like
got no fuel. He's made it. Dread's going to make it in here if he can. Yeah, he's got it. Dread's going to make it. They've lost a lot of time.
And that's over and out.
No.
over and out for Got
That's
Gecko and
all
Aussie
over.
Carters.
Yeah, strategy. 1 lap too late. Nearly
The-
exactly.
Family curse has struck again. Remember a couple of years
Oh,
ago,
no.
Aussie Carter's doing a similar thing in the Bathurst 1000.
Wow.
And now it's his brother
that
that
is
who has
100
fallen a
millilitres
similar
of fuel
fate.
short. That's so now Dread's in. He's picked his
I just saw
fuel up.
someone
Where's
also coming
Gear
to the
Gaming?
pits. Gear 3 Gaming is... Oh, he's...
So now
He's out of fuel
gonna,
as
he's
well.
gonna drop. What's going on here? Oh no!
He's
Yeah, that's just
got
his internet, I think.
0.1
We're all
litres.
good.
He's
Oh.
cut the corner to
Oh
try...
no! Are we going for a second one? We are too. That's it.
So he's out.
He'll never
Okay,
roll
so
to
he's
the pit bay.
rolling into the pit lane, but he hasn't clutched it in.
Oh,
He's done.
No, that's it. It's all over. Oh no! What's going on here? This is insane. This is insane. What a race.
This is back. This is similar to that famous San Marino Grand Prix of 1986 or whatever it was, where everyone just ran out of fuel in the last lap.
Everyone's a lap short.
Darky's
lap
crossed
short,
the
like
line.
3
He's-
litres of fuel.
Darky's crossed
Yeah,
the
so
line.
this
He's
is
finished
it.
first.
The race is over as soon as Darky
So,
finishes
we've got
his
our
lap
winner.
And, yeah, and look at the
Dado-
margin in the end.
Where's Dado?
He's pulled. So Dado's made another mistake there because he's lost another 30 seconds there somewhere.
But he's going to
Woody's
finish
lizard,
second.
get out your lazy buggers and push it.
So Dread was able to get into the pits, and I think he's finished in
Oh.
third place.
Gecko got within 1 car length of his pit box. So
Oh.
damn close, says Aussie Carters. So
Couldn't
what a
quite
day, those
clutch it in.
boys. I reckon they'll still be smiling because that was that was pretty epic. Oh, that's
Oh, who
brilliant.
would have thought?
The race here. This man too good.
Yeah,
Miles
Cirrus
too good, it appears.
winning
He
the...
jumped early and yeah. Oh, there we go. We're out.
That is...
Yeah, and Cirrus, they've it's been a masterclass today a bit from the top runners.
Yeah, so there we go. Dark Racing is your winner of the 2020 edition of our ANZCRL Combined Racing League Imola 4 hours. Dado Racer in
He'll
second
be
place.
very happy with that.
Dread
yeah.
has finished in third. Metal Drive
in an
has...
epic finish. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Metal
It's going to be
Drive
Got
claws up.
Gecko. Sorry, Got Gecko's finished in fourth because he's completed more laps than Metal Drive. Same with Gear 3 Gaming, he's in fifth.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be Metal Drive in sixth. Then,
And such hard luck stories, and what a finish! I knew it was going to be pretty close there, but that last 5
And
minutes was bloody good value, I must
and
say.
then yeah, Cirrus, Jetto, and Knight Pegasus are your podium finishers for the GT1 class.
Yeah.
I'm going to
so
go
it's-
try and see if we can grab some drivers in for an interview.
Yeah, if we can drag Darky in and Cirrus, maybe, and someone else,
Yeah.
or
then
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. There's going to be some stories to tell. I'm sure they're all giggling and laughing, and some are crying in their hands at the moment between each other. There'll be stories to tell, but like I said, it was very clean. You know, that rain, once they could get the power down, it's sort of opened up Darky to run away from the field there a little bit. So,
yeah.
and then fuel in the end, Knox, you know, that changed the podium positions over a litre of fuel. Dredd managed to sneak
So
into the last podium position there.
we just had some of the drivers now jump in the party. We'll start with at the overall winner, Dark Racing. Comfortable
Yay!
finish at the end there.
Oh yeah,
Congratulations, mate. That was pretty epic.
that was fantastic actually.
Kind of glad I was sitting on this side and not challenging you in there, mate, because you were in fine form.
Oh,
That was
man. That was actually quite tough at the first start of the race when Dado snuck past me. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Then I catch up to him, and then I just couldn't make a move to get anywhere near. It's just his car had so much more drive than me. He's like, oh, I know I'm faster than him. I just got to get past him somehow. And then he made a small mistake.
Because it is that sort of middle speed, you know, sort of corners. So you know, you really need a second and a half to comfortably be able to go past someone. So it's easy to get caught there. But once you made that run, I was like, well, the cat's out the bag now. He's going. He's dedicated to 2 stops, and it was whether anyone can catch him, mate. And you were just miles too good there in the end.
Oh yeah, I was kind of hoping to be. I knew Dredd wasn't happy in the rain, and I thought if I can just be hopefully enough ahead of him, so when he comes back at me in the dry, I might have a bit of enough of a gap. But coming the downhill section of that fast right-handed, that puddle was huge, and that was a nightmare to deal with.
We were kind of debating whether it would dry up, but it the
Never
puddle sort
did.
of disappeared, but it was still, it wasn't a massive puddle, but there was spray going everywhere every time you went through there.
G'day.
By the end,
gear.
by the end, you're able to drop into it and go quite fast. So.
Do I need to include audio or something?
No, you don't, Gear.
Okay.
So
What
Darky,
an eventful day, Gear.
Oh yeah, yeah. So basically, how my race went was, so I got caught up in the accident at turn 1, and then I had to pit, and I was like a lap behind, and I thought, oh well, may as well try and do something a bit risky, try and make it on 1 stop after that. So my final pit stop of the race was just after the hour mark, and I worked out that I'd have to burn about 10 litres per 10 minutes, and I thought I was just going to make it, but on the last lap I was like, oh no, I'm just going to fall short.
Well, you weren't the only one, mate. You weren't the only one.
wasn't.
We've got Gecko dropping out and pretty much the same. Apparently he made it to within a car length of his pit box.
Yeah.
So he missed out by 6 metres.
I was coming to the pits that lap, and then I saw the entry, and I'm like, all right, we're good. And then it stopped. I'm like, well, that's the end of that.
And then at least the last 5 minutes was epic.
I was sitting in the party. I'm like, come on, someone give me a push. And then Jeddo out of nowhere comes and hits me from behind and pushes me in. And then as soon as we go in the pit lane, he ghosted. So I'm like, well, here we go. And then I was literally a car length short from the pit box.
Because
So
I
I
think we were going to have an
just
awesome battle there. There was a litre of fuel difference between the 2 of you.
Oh yeah, there wasn't much. I think I was fuel saving for about 40 minutes. So I'm like, this is a bit ambitious, but we'll try it anyway.
Oh, Darky, when you see what went on in that last 5 minutes, so yeah, that was pretty epic. All the strategies just rolled
So I
into
reckon
that last
if
5 minutes.
if I'd gone into lean maybe a lap earlier, I would have made it, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
I was running lean for a few laps, but it didn't really help that much. But it definitely, I was at, I think 5 laps with a little bit to go, and I ended up getting it down to 1 lap. So I saved quite a bit, but just not enough.
It was good to see people had a lot of different strategies and stuck to their strategies and went, no, I think I've made the right decision. But
it was
I think
definitely a
Dredd
gamble for everyone. I think
probably ruining that. I think he went to pit, and then it must have been Got Gecko went around him, and he pulled out as well and followed Got Gecko. But luckily, he had a litre more fuel and managed to make it back to the pits, unlike a few others.
I only had a litre left, and that was crawling home.
I thought
think
you were
everyone
Dado,
was
'cause I
very,
like,
very minimal.
okay, when's Dado going to pit? He should pit around the 7-minute mark. And like, he hasn't pitted yet. I'm like, oh, he's going the whole way here. This is going to be entertaining.
Well,
Yeah,
Dado did his early, so Dado put in, I'm not sure, Dado, about 12 litres, I'm guessing, on
correct.
the first stop.
I wish it was 13 now.
Which it was 13. Did you change tyres there, mate, or did you stay
Nah.
on the wets, or you stayed on
Stayed
the
on the
wets
wets.
and just put
Yep.
12 or 15 litres in, or, yeah, and
Correct.
went run another few laps until it dried out more, which,
Yep.
that's what I mean, it was great. There was, Darky throughout, and then Dado's strategy was down, and we were watching Dread and Got Gecko fighting over vapours. And, yeah.
Trigger
much.
sucked the most
Great.
amount of
It
fuel
was
out of
really
the
good.
air.
Oh, yeah, well, they were nose to tail and a litre fuel between them, and then they decided to run the gauntlet on the last lap of the race, the second last lap of the race, instead
I
of...
think I misjudged how much fuel I had when I came around for the last lap. I thought it was a little bit more than I had. But I
I'll
thought, oh,
guarantee
go
you
again.
misjudged it, mate. Yeah, no, I'll guarantee you misjudged it. Yeah.
But
No, but it was, what a race,
gamble.
like, to start out wet, and, it was clean as, the racing was brilliant, everyone gave each other room, it was fast, probably
Yeah.
not as fast as you would have liked with that little dip being so wet, but,
I
Yeah.
have to give
you
a bit
did
of
well,
praise
boys.
to my brother too, Aussie Carters. He drove half that race for me, so
Yeah,
at
So,
least he got me to the finish
A
line.
legitimate, can't even say the word, legitimate driver change.
Yeah, 100%. He came in
A,
the
re-
jacks.
a real one.
He jumped up on the jack so that he's like, that's it. Jumped out of the stand. I jumped in, and I got myself
Nice.
ready just in time. So it was good.
yeah,
Like, you
like
couldn't
I
have
said,
timed it
someone
closer.
else's rig, someone else's setup.
Oh, he was
I said,
struggling.
even if you've got close to the same setup, there's little intricacies that are different, and yeah, in the rain in someone else's setup, and like I'm sure Got Gecko said to you too, you can have the wet one with the dry setup,
Yeah.
and I'll
much.
just jump in after when it dries out. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that was a big effort, mate. That was a big drive. Like, that's not easy to do. So all your planning goes out the window at that point, and it's just drive to survive.
Everything we planned went out the window halfway through qualifying.
Not even
Yeah, I
got
halfway,
booted,
right at the
and
end,
I joined
actually.
back.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
And we
And
were
then
saying, I hope it doesn't go, or he doesn't go again, and then we come out onto the start line.
Yeah, I got
And,
back within seconds, and then he got booted on. I think
yeah.
just before we got to the grid.
Yeah, his name is actually in the results at the bottom.
Oh, it's not for me, but yeah, that's all right.
No, it wasn't my one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
anyway, I don't want to forget our GT1 winner, CMDR Cirrus, who's
True.
That's
right.
probably one of the best drives in the
Okay,
whole
mate.
field, to be honest.
Oh,
To be
he's
honest, he
annihilated
finished
his competition here.
2
He's
laps
absolutely
ahead.
walked it in.
Finished
Yeah.
2 laps ahead of second
Bloody
place. Cirrus,
hell.
you got to be proud
Nice.
of your drive.
I'm pretty happy, but I was just hoping I'd have a good run with Jetto and Woody. But yeah, the first lap
Yeah.
incident, I think they got damaged. And that
So
was
what
that.
happened there on the first lap there? We sort of missed it. We knew Gear Gaming obviously got damaged, but we... so it's a
And
bit
so
hard
did
on
Woody.
there. So it was obviously coming together a bit there of a few cars and a bit of a
I'm not
touch and some damage here and there, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to put Gear into a spin, but he was across the track when the GD1s came through, and I was at the front, so I saw it. I pretty much stopped, but then I think it
with
was
the
Woody
spray
or
and everything, yeah.
I couldn't tell who it was, but yeah, I got hit slightly, but he got cleaned up into gear, and I saw a car go over the top of another
Yeah.
car, and I came
Yeah,
out
and that's that
pretty
wet
much
weather.
unscathed.
Just walk away.
Pretty much, I felt bad, but yep, put the foot down.
Oh, mate, you take them when you can get them, don't you? Like,
That's it.
yeah, you're not going to look that gift horse in the mouth. No, it was a awesome race by all. Both the leaders, you guys have just really set the bar again. And yeah, it's what a race.
Yeah,
It was
cheers
good.
it.
And all the drivers, well done, boys. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
I did enjoy my battle with Dado at the
exceptional.
start.
Yeah,
That was quite
that was
fun.
a bit of fun. Yeah, it was.
Just couldn't get past. Just couldn't get close enough to get past you. But yeah, no, it's
Right.
good. So,
It was
so
good.
I'd
Almost-
like to thank our fearless leader, who unfortunately disconnected for this session, Woody Lizard. He put in a mountain of work to get these lobbies all set up for us today.
I reckon.
So
And was on the podium for
Yeah,
his
well
class
done.
at the time too, so...
yeah, It was
He's resulted to online chat, I think. So
yeah.
Thanks,
But
Shadow
no.
and Loft for the commentary and broadcast.
No worries.
Yeah,
I
cheers,
enjoyed
fellas. Giving up
Yeah,
your
thanks
afternoon.
everyone.
commentating
great.
with
Racing, guys.
Spanish for this one. And,
yeah, it's been good, Sato. But I'll be looking forward to get back in the car next week. I think I'll leave the dirty talking to someone else,
Yes,
and I'll go back behind the wheel. I think.
I want to thank you everyone who tuned in for this race. We had quite a few numbers this afternoon, which is good.
That's
It's
good.
to note that even when the world is as troubled as it is, that we can sort of forget it for a little while with sim racing. So we thank you all for
Yeah.
tuning in, and we'll see you in a week or two's time when we start our European
Next
Le Mans
weekend we
series.
got LMP2, so
That's it.
the action starts every week now. So yeah, get in,
Exciting
buckle up.
times ahead.
That's
So
right.
thank you
And
everyone.
with the
and
racing that's going on, I think it's going to be good. So yeah,
yeah,
well done,
thank you
boys.
everyone, and we'll catch you in the next stream.